Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on this Tuesday the 14th of March. Here you can see we have our two tables in front of us. These tables help us strip out the noise and focus on some actionable forex pairs. So you can see here the Swiss franc is the strongest currency at the moment. It tops both of our tables. You can see that the pound is the second strongest currency, and we have the Australian dollar as the weakest currency on the trend traders, but only the third weakest on the day traders, so maybe a little bit of momentum fade in there on the weakness. The Canadian dollar is the second weakest currency on both, and that's where we can focus some attention. Now, we are going to take a look at a CAD pair today. We're actually going to have a little look at CAD yen. Yen came onto the tables yesterday, so I want to see if CAD yen can continue to the downside. You may have noticed there's a lot of volatility in the markets at the moment, and that can help the yen strengthen. So looking for that to continue and potentially play out there. So looking at potentially CAD yen. But before we dive into that, I'm going to recover pound Aussie and CAD Swiss, because we were talking about CAD Swiss coming into a key area of support, which was the 0.66 level. Now, the last time we spoke about CAD Swiss, price was around about this area here, around about the 0.6775. Actually going to a 4-hour time frame. It was when price was breaking out of this zone in here, out of this 0.68 handle, and we discussed the opportunity for price to trade lower. Price did trade lower. Price came down into the 0.66 level. Now, this is a crucial level for price, because if I go up to the weekly time frame and zoom out, it is actually the low of this long-term range that we've been in for a significant amount of time. And we did say if price came into the 0.66 handle, we may see a rejection here, which could then follow into a 1,000 pip trade. The reason why I said that is because if we measure from the 0.66 handle and we measure up to the lower high of the range, which is this 0.775, then that's around about 1,167 pips. So there's a potential here for price to really reject the low of this range and continue to the upside. Now, just because we're at the lower range doesn't mean that it is going to reverse, obviously, because the tables are suggesting that price could continue lower. However, if we just go into that 4-hour time frame and zoom in, you can see that price has rejected in and around that area already. We've pulled back. We are starting to see some selling coming into it again. So what I would say to you is, I would be watching now the price coming back into the lows. So I would be looking at this area in particular for price to come back into. If we were to see price come back into here and you saw a bullish rejection, this could offer us a potential opportunity to trade back higher with a really strong reward to risk ratio. You know, we can see that our rolling ATR is 54 pips. We've got the daily ATR at 38 pips. So if we were to say, you know, maybe even price comes into this area with a 54 pip ATR stop, you know, even just from here to the recently formed lows is, you know, nearly or just over a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. If we let it go further than that, there's potential for it to go much higher. So really good potential here for opportunities on CAD Swiss. Just wanted to remind you that we've come into that 0.66 level now. Now, like I said, pound Aussie was another market that we've been focusing on in quite a few videos. We've been talking about looking at these areas of support and resistance. Yesterday, on the lower time frame, we talked about the potential for price to come back down into this level here and maybe form a double bottom pattern, and that's exactly how price played out. I ended up getting long in this position at the high of this area here, which was around about the 81.43. The reason why we were talking about this yesterday was because price had rallied to the upside here, and we were looking for that demand zone to come back into play. You can see price kind of sweep the lows here and then continue to the upside. So I looked for targets back up at these recently formed highs here, managed to get 170 odd pips out of this move. If you got a better entry than me, maybe you looked at the low there, you could have had at least 180, 185 pips at the lows there, but I was looking at getting in around that zone there. So that was a really nice move back to the upside here. Still quite confident that price could continue up here for pound Aussie. Like I said, pound has been getting stronger, Aussie's getting weaker, or Aussie has been weak for some time. So, you know, that could see price trade out of this area and price could follow up to the next area of resistance. Now, let's talk about the pair that I wanted to talk about today. That's CAD yen. Although the yen isn't highlighted in green, the risk and volatility in the market at the moment has led to the Japanese yen getting stronger. So can that continue essentially? Now, we do have real high impact data today. We have the US CPI data, and US CPI is going to be really important to watch going into today's trading session, just because of the fact that the Fed's put so much pressure on themselves to see this data coming in lower. If it doesn't come in lower and it beats estimates and beats previous numbers, then the Fed could be forced to hike rates at a faster pace, and that could then cause much more volatility in the market. Now, if that's the case, I think we could see the yen strengthen as well. But CAD yen, I'm definitely looking for potentials for this market to continue lower. We've got the break of this 99.25 level. We are currently at trendline support and the 96 area in here, which was an area of support. If I just go down into the 4-hour time frame, the area that I'm just talking about there, these lows in here. Sorry, I haven't marked that out on the 4-hour. But you can see there, that low in there, around about the 96.25 to the 96 level, price has rebounded from that point. But we're looking to see if price will come down to at least the 95 lows. If it can break the 95 lows, then we've got this 92.50 area, which price hasn't tested yet. So I'm looking to see if we'll come down into that point. Now, if we go to an hourly time frame and just zoom in a little bit, you may be thinking, why am I doing this? Well, I'm looking for those areas where selling has been active in the past and if it could act as resistance again. So you can see I've marked out the 98 level here. You can see it's been acting as resistance recently. So I'm looking to see if price will trade up to this level. Perhaps the event may drive price into this level, and I want to see if price can hold this level. What I mean by that is if price shoots through it, can it come back through it and close below it? And if it does, that could be a good sign that price is going to start trading back to the downside here. Alternatively, we could, you know, bounce through that level. We do have another sort of zone around about the 98 spot 75, but we do also have that 99 spot 25, which could act as resistance as well. But I'm keeping my eye on the 98 today, see if price can hold that level. If it does hold that level, there could be some good opportunities to trade back to the downside here for CAD yen. You can see that selling pressure coming from there most recently as well. Overall targets would be the 95 lows down through here. So we'll see how price reacts to that today. It's a big trading day, so be safe with trading, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.